Hello, I'm producer Dave, and I'm here for the weekend update. Quick last-minute lineup advice. So we're going to run through some injuries and some possible pickups you want to do, just you and I. Do a quick plug to try and sell you some sweet Felix Gray glasses. And then we're going to bring in Dave Pyper, and we're going to do our streaming challenge where we're going to go through some quarterbacks and defense options that are pretty widely available and might be available for you. All right, let's get into it. I'm not going to belabor like every single injury because Saquon, CMC, like these guys are out. You're going to know, Michael Thomas, is ruled out. So let's start with the good news. Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith didn't appear on the injury report at all. If they're your guys, I say roll with it. Will Fuller, despite not practicing, looks like he's a full go. Of course, I'm recording this Saturday morning. It's important to say that. So if you're watching this late Saturday or on Sunday and know more, be aware. But Will Fuller, who's often injured, seems as healthy as he ever is. It's Will Fuller. But it looks like you can go ahead and play him. Malcolm Brown, who injured his hand, is not on the injury report. It looks like he's ready to go for week 3, which takes us into the guys that are ruled out. Cam Akers is ruled out. So Malcolm Brown's facing a tough defense. I think he's got Buffalo this week. So I'm not saying like you got to grab him and everything, but he's only 61% owned in Yahoo leagues. So he's available in a handful of leagues. And if you're in a real bad situation or something, it's worth taking a look at because he looks like he's going to be locked into starting minutes. Other guys ruled out. Jimmy Garoppolo's out. Duke Johnson's out. Zach Moss has been ruled out. So if you have Singletary and you're not too upset by like 50 total yards in week 1 and maybe 80 total yards in week 2, he should be getting a bigger workload without Zach Moss there. So if you have him, you might feel good playing him like in the flex. James White's still, it looks like he's out grieving for personal reasons. So of course that could change by Sunday, but it doesn't look like he's going to play right now. So yeah, plan accordingly. Other guys ruled out. Wide receivers. We got AJ Brown's ruled out. Christian Kirk, Jamison Crowder have all been ruled out. And then at tight end, Kittle, unfortunately, has been downgraded to out. And Knox, if you were playing a Bills tight end, which I don't know that you were. So if you're looking to try and cover, if you took Kittle, you probably didn't have a back. Well, Kittle was out last week, so you probably had a backup. But out there on the waiver wire, pretty widely available. Logan Thomas, I talked about with Chris on the DFS show and stuff. We're not like super high on his chances for all season long, but if you're needing to pick someone up to play here for an injury replacement, I kind of like Logan Thomas this week. It's also you can take a look at Reed that actually is going to fill in for Kittle right in San Francisco. He did great last week, 50 yards, but 2 touchdowns. Can't predict touchdowns, but is more than just a warm body to plug in there because he did pretty well last week. Okay, so that's kind of our outs and ins. Here's where we get a little bit more questionable, okay? Josh Jacobs missed both Wednesday and Thursday's practice this week, but he's played Friday. So he's on the path. It looks like he's going to play. They may have just been resting him. Shouldn't be a hard word for me to say, is it? Because they had the later game last week, but he practiced on Friday. So it looks like he's on the path to go ahead and play. Devontae Adams is doubtful. And it's important to note this because that's a Sunday night game. So if you're planning on playing Adams because he's one of your top wide receivers, you're going to want to plan accordingly. So I don't know if you've got a spot to pick someone else up for the night game, or if, you're on the cusp, take a look at your matchup and maybe you just don't want to take that risk. That's up to your risk tolerance. He's listed as doubtful. And again, this is Saturday morning. Maybe you'll know more before the game's lock at 1:00, but take a look at that. Brandon Cooks, he's questionable. He has not practiced yet. Kenny Galladay still listed on the injury report, but he looks like he's on the path to play. He's not going to be 100%. But if you have him, I honestly think you play him. You took him high. You've been trying to get by without him. If you're like me, unfortunately, I had a lot of Galladay and Sutton on teams. So anywhere I had Galladay, I'm definitely playing him because I've already lost Sutton. Julio's listed as questionable. I would check closer to game time. Waller's still listed as questionable. If you've got a scramble, I already gave you a couple tight end options in Logan Thomas and Reed. Sammy Watkins is still in the concussion protocol, but he looks like he's on the path to play. For whatever that means. With concussion protocol, it's pretty hard to predict. I guess if you were so the issue with this is they play Monday night. So it's a little like I talked about Adams. If you're waiting on Watkins, I wouldn't want to be in that situation because you could be in a pretty tough spot. It's Monday night and everyone else is on your roster's locked. But if you need to, you can look at Mecole Hardman. We liked him going in the preseason. He hasn't done much this year to get me excited to say, yes, I trust him. But he played last week when Watkins went out. So if you think Watkins is out and you have Hardman, at least you have a backup there. But it makes me a little nervous. I would probably go elsewhere because, with Devontae Adams, if you want to roll the dice, he's a different caliber now in their careers than Sammy Watkins, right? Let's be real. John Brown's listed as questionable, but he looks like he's going to be playing. So we'll kind of ran through those. And then Juju's also listed. It looks like he's going to be good to go. But again, I would check these things. There's not really a pivot there. Like you're either playing Juju or not because Deontay Johnson's probably owned and he's in your lineup whether or not Juju plays. It doesn't necessarily make that switch for you. So I would check that as it's getting closer. Take a quick break to say thanks to Felix Gray for sponsoring the show, right? I love them. Blue light glasses. You guys see me on them. Every time I'm on this show, I'm wearing Felix Gray. I wear them on the computer to help me prevent like the headaches and just rubbing the eyes and feeling all dried out. And it's really great now. It's football season. If you're watching a bunch of games on Sunday and stuff, you're sitting in front of the TV for a long time, even there across the room, not working on the computer, it makes a big difference for me. They start at under $100 and I love the product. We all use them here on the channel and they're worth checking out. So go to felixgrayglasses.com/HarrisTube and give them a look. And we're back and I'm joined with Dave Pyper, the winner of last week's challenge. Congrats.
Thank you.
I bow to your, basically Jared Goff, your most hated guy, just carried you to your win.
Yeah. I think my hate maybe fueled his play.
Yeah.
Or it had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, it's possible it was that. It might be that Kirk Cousins got me 1 point.
You got cousined. Yeah, I think you could call that getting cousined. So
that's what I get. All right. So you won last week. So I'll pick first this week. To remind the people at home, we're going to pick 2 QBs and 2 defenses. Only one of the QBs can be in that like 66 to 33% range so that we're not just picking all the easy guys, right?
Yeah.
So you know that, but for the viewers at home. Okay. So to start us off, and Minshew's already played. He's fallen in that category. So maybe kind of dodged a bullet there by not going.
I can tell you, I absolutely did. I would have written down Minshew, and I would have been wrong. So, yeah, dodged a bullet there.
I was thinking that watching the game last night. I was like, we're gonna put this out on Saturday. We got lucky here.
Yeah.
All right. It's not super exciting, but I'm going to go Tannehill against Minnesota. Their defense hasn't been that impressive, and he only seems to pass on play action, so he probably won't make too many mistakes to hurt me. I can hope for more than the one. I'm a little gun shy after Cousins hurt me last week. So Tannehill's my first pick. Who you got for QB?
All right, for QB, I'm taking everybody I'm going to be taking this week's in the 66 percentiles just because it worked out that way. And I'm going with Justin Herbert just because of last week, man. It was so exciting. I'm a big proponent of, I know it's stupid, but picking guys that I'm excited about. But we showed one play last week. Yeah, I guess it would be on Wednesday. We showed one play from Herbert. If you watch that game, man, it's just fun. He's a giant human being, and that's fun. And I don't know. It's just new players tend to breathe life into an organization, especially an organization like the Chargers. So, yeah, I like Herbert a lot this week, especially against Carolina.
Cool. So, all right. So now my next QB pick, I'm in this position of last week where I debated between Boring Rivers or someone else. And I think I'm still going someone else. I'm going to be risky. I'm going to take Trubisky, apparently. It rhymes. It must be true, right?
Oh, okay. Nice.
I didn't even know I was going to do that. But the matchup against Atlanta, I looked at Trubisky for DFS because he's pretty cheap on DraftKings. And so he's just kind of in my head. And his stat game for fantasy wasn't as great in week 2. You had him, he got 15 points. I think he played better watching the game. And so I'm hopeful that maybe we can get a little bit of each, like scoring on garbage time, but also not being a bonehead.
Absolutely. I rolled with him last week. It worked out for me. I didn't have a chance to watch the game this week, but I know that you did, and so I trust your eyes. But so like I said, Minshew probably would have been my second pick, but thankfully we're doing this. We're putting this out on Saturday, so I'm actually gonna go with I had Rivers on my list too. I want to pick Rivers. I feel like we want to just go, hey, both honorable mentions. We go, hey, Rivers isn't bad if he's there. But I'm going with Daniel Jones. I did get to watch some of the Giants this week a little bit, and I have every week, every time I watch Daniel Jones, I think he's getting smarter. I guess I'm just okay. He's starting to see things develop better. There are some times where I just think like, what's going on, Dan? But I like Daniel Jones. I guess if I liked again pulling ripcords, going, hey, let's try to get something here. We're streaming, so we'll try to get something here.
I like the idea that he's getting better because it just makes me think it's possible that the bar was so low that it wasn't going to get any worse in your esteem. Like,
yeah, that's fair to say that because early on I thought, what a waste of a draft pick, and yeah, I don't know. I think we did a little bit of film on him last year, not to like make us go back to last year, but where he really seemed to go through progressions decently, better than Baker Mayfield. So that's that. Yeah. So.
We're both such fan haters. We have
I know.
so much
sorry, I didn't mean to have to like throw my 2 cents in, but you know where my heart lies, of course. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to follow your heart for defense and take Cleveland against Washington this week.
Hey, not too bad. That's they were on my list as well, so you kind of sniped a pick for me there. But I'll take the Titans then for my first defense. I'll take the Titans. Was that
Titans are also on my list? Yes.
Yeah. Nice.
I'm gonna be dumb, maybe, and pick against myself because I just took Tannehill going against Minnesota's defense because I don't think Minnesota's defense is very good. Mm-hmm. But I also think Tennessee's really conservative. So I'm going to take the Vikings and just hope that they run.
Yeah, you think that Derrick Henry's going to fumble like 3 times. That's all that's going to happen.
Or it's possible that he runs 56 times for 56 yards, in which case...
That could happen too. I'm actually going to go against your defensive pick. I'm going to go with the Washington football team because I watch the Browns every week.
Because you hate yourself?
Yeah, no, because I know what's going to happen. Because I actually think Washington has not a sneaky good defense. I think they have a good defense and people know about it. I don't think it's that quiet. But, yeah, I think that.
I'm with you. I was looking for trying to make this week's picks, right? Because I took Washington last week. So first week, Washington crushed against Philly. Last week, they were okay. So I'm really curious to get the third data point on Washington this week to figure out, like, do they have 2 good games? Okay, it's that defensive front is serious football team, and, like, they're good. Or if they have another okay game, but, like, if Cincinnati does well against Philly, then it's just going to be, attack Philly. This week I'm going to try and, I mean, I'll be wrong, but like I'm looking for the answer to that riddle of was it Washington or was it Philly?
Yeah, I'll say like Washington's front 4 or whatever. Like if I knew more about their defense and knew their players and knew that they were good players, I would say all that. But I actually don't know any of that. I'm not sure. What I do know though is each week since I've been watching the Browns the last 10 years of my life, Baker has a real problem seeing defensive ends dropped into coverage. Like he has a horrible problem with that. Mm-hmm. And if Washington does stuff like that, they will have at least 1 interception. I promise you that. I can promise you that. He just doesn't see him right in the middle. So again, didn't mean to go too deep on but that's something. Yeah.
No, it's all for it. I mean, so Washington got 8 sacks, 2 interceptions, and a fumble recovery against Philly in week 1.
Yeah.
8 sacks.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Oh, dude. Sunday vacation's not going to start great this week. It's not going to start great. It's okay though. It's all right.
Well, but it started with this, and thank you for joining me and everyone for watching us. Good luck this weekend.
Thanks so much for watching. Please, please, please smash that like button, write a comment, tell us who else you'd like to see us review film on, and of course, best of all, please subscribe to our channel and then click that little bell above the subscribe button and you'll be notified whenever we post a new video.